Hello, good day. Welcome back to Bitcoin Advisors. My name is Hogan, and I'm so happy to be back with you guys. I've missed making videos, making content. I haven't done it for a few weeks, so glad to be back in the seat here. Now, we got a really interesting story to talk about. As I'm sure you can probably see, the title will probably reflect this as well when we put this video up. Today, there was some new news, and this is off of Cointelegraph. Let's just get into this article. Warren Buffett invests $1 billion in Bitcoin-friendly neobank, dumps Visa and MasterCard stocks. The Oracle of Omaha now has more companies in his portfolio that have direct/indirect exposure to Bitcoin and similar cryptocurrencies. So as we read through here, we can start to gain some understanding of what actually happened. But what I'd like to do is, before we go deeper into this article, let's go over here and see some of the things that Warren Buffett has said in the past about Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, because this new investment strategy that he's taking is a bit, should I say, hypocritical, or a bit contrary to his prior views and statements on the digital currency, mainly Bitcoin. So Bitcoin skepticism isn't a new position for the two leaders of Berkshire Hathaway. Of course, that's Munger. I believe his name is Charlie Munger. And, of course, Warren Buffett. Buffett has called Bitcoin a delusion and rat poison. And he vowed last year to never own any cryptocurrencies, arguing they attract charlatans and basically have no value. Well, let me ask you a question, Mr. Warren Buffett. I know that you're the most successful investor in the history of the world, and congratulations on that. But at the end of the day, I want to just check in with you and ask this. What do you think the dollar attracts? Do you think that there is a good amount of charlatans that do business in the dollar? Do you think that a currency that just can be printed on demand and has such fluctuating monetary policy and is no longer tied to any hard asset like gold and silver, but simply just tied to trust in the centralized government? Do you think that that is a valuable asset, the dollar? Of course, we use it to transact every day. We go around, you can buy goods and services. Of course, it does hold a certain amount of value, but it has been losing value. We're seeing inflation. The inflation numbers just came out last week, Thursday, 7.5% inflation, the highest we've seen in the last 40 years. Okay? So that would just be something that I find very interesting. I see a lot of people out there. I just saw an interview with Gary Vaynerchuk, and I don't know if I'm saying his last name right, but you probably know who he is. And he was answering a question about cryptocurrency. The newscaster basically thought that she pinned him against a corner by asking the question, well, you know, this stuff, this crypto stuff, it attracts money launderers and crime. And then she went on to say it attracts white supremacists. And Gary Vaynerchuk just sits back, calm as a cucumber, and says, hey, it's an industry, just like every other industry. It's a new industry. There's going to be crooks. There's going to be thieves. There's going to be hacks. There's going to be all this. And then there's going to be people who really believe in it, want to see it move forward, want to see it grow, are using it for real transactions, are using it to buy real goods and services. I mean, it's really interesting when you look at the way that the hypocritical nature, right? Let's focus in on the hypocritical nature of being somebody that accuses Bitcoin of being the choice currency of money launderers and criminals, when they're just completely ignoring how much crime is committed that's dollar-based in the United States. It's the amount of money laundering that takes place in U.S. dollars and other currencies, other fiat currencies. It's shocking. It's staggering. This happens no matter if it's Bitcoin, if it's gold and silver even. There's people who make fake gold bars and try to sell them. The dollar, it happens everywhere. There's going to be bad actors. So I know that's kind of a long tangent, but it ties into what we're talking about, this weird double standard that some of these very intelligent people have based on a lack of understanding and based on this strange double standard that they hold Bitcoin to. They say Bitcoin must be pure and never have any money launderers or criminals attached to it for me to accept it, when the dollar, the alternative, is full of that stuff, full of money laundering and criminals and drug dealing and all that kind of stuff. It's such an interesting double standard that some people hold. Okay, so let's zip on back over to the original article that we were taking a look at. All right. In a securities filing late February 14th, the industrial conglomerate disclosed that it had purchased $1 billion worth of new bank class A, I think it's supposed to be neobank, Class A stock in Q4 2021. On the other hand, it sold $1.8 billion and $1.3 billion worth of Visa and MasterCard stock, respectively, signaling a shift away from credit companies to gain exposure to their fintech rivals. Buffett, the so-called Oracle of Omaha, is popular for his cautious approach to investing, particularly in the market's hottest sectors such as fintech. So again, we got this guy calling Bitcoin rat poison and all this, and then all of a sudden he's coming out and he's directly investing in Nubank. Okay, so confirming now it is Nubank. It is not neobank. The typo up here, as you can see, says neobank. So they need to change that. Anyways, guys, this is a massive, massive news story. And this is really the takeaway here. The world's greatest investor, the most successful investor, his company, Berkshire Hathaway, that he has authority over, is now investing massive amounts of capital and divesting massive amounts of capital from certain positions. And what do those look like? Well, it's a shift away from the general consensus of what's normal, right? Visa, MasterCard, these highly successful and massive credit card processors, over to the fintech sector, over to a new sector for money that involves and is led by the Bitcoin markets. So, guys, I hope you're having a wonderful day. Share this with your friends and family. This is obviously really important because all your friends and family are going to hear about is how Warren Buffett, he called Bitcoin rat poison. Oh, he doesn't like Bitcoin. And there's a really interesting quote in here that I found, and let's see if I can find it. Bear with me a moment here. The quote goes something along the lines of, this is a way for Warren Buffett to get involved with these new financial solutions like Bitcoin without admitting that he was wrong. That's what this is. As we see these massive investment institutions, Warren Buffett and all these other guys, as they start to, give in essentially and admit that cryptocurrency and the blockchain has real use case and that Bitcoin really is a restricted supply, hard form of capital, they're going to be forced to start to invest. Because at the end of the day, let me tell you something. You want to know what matters more, most likely, and I'll just say this, most likely what matters more to a billionaire than public perception of them, public perception on their past statements, is their checkbook. How do you think they got to their position? How do you think they became a billionaire? Well, they made certain moves and did certain things in a certain way. Of course, there's people who have gotten money through crooked means, but the guys who invested and made the right choices like Warren Buffett and just were smart and developed strategy and stuck with their strategy, I guarantee you, they care more about their checkbook and their balance book at the end of the day than they care about news articles from the past that contradict with their current actions. And they don't have to come out and say, hey, look at me. I'm investing in Nubank. I'm investing in crypto spaces. They don't have to do that. They're not concerned about that. All they're concerned about is, well, not all they're concerned about because I don't know their intentions and their hearts and who they are as individuals, but one of the main things on their list of priorities is profit. All right, guys, I hope you have a wonderful, blessed rest of your day. And I hope you found this time that we spent together valuable. Go ahead and head over to Cointelegraph so you can read this article yourself. And then the other article is on Forbes. And the tagline is Warren Buffett deputy calls Bitcoin disgusting and bad for civilization. All right, go read those articles. Nothing that I've said is financial advice. We're not financial advisors. We are Bitcoin advisors. And we help people with the service of moving their funds over into crypto currencies from an IRA or a cash position, and giving market updates and being in communication with all of our clients. So if you're interested, there should be a link down in the description. You can click that, find out more. You guys have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you soon.